crowd yells, breaking the chains. Muscles clash, hearts on fire. Equality's a real desire. Warriors that bold and free. Acceptance the real victory. Fighting not for gold alone. For love will make it known. Wrestling with pride, no fear. Breaking boundaries loud and clear. In the ring, love prevails. Every heart, the truth it hails. Man or woman, strength defined. In our blood, no hate can find. Champions of a better way. Under the lights we'll play. Body slam, but hearts unite. In the chaos shines the light. Equality in every bout. Voices roll without a doubt. Wrestling with pride, no fear. Breaking boundaries loud and clear. In the ring,
You're not going to be able to hear it, but you can watch it. Because you didn't know it.
Strength defined. In our blood, no hate can find. Champions of a better way. Under the lights we'll play. Under the lights we'll play. Body slam, but hearts unite. In the chaos shines the light. Equality in every bout. Voices roar without a doubt. Riot spirits high. Target balls, we touch the sky. No room for hate. In this space we fight with pride and grace. Wrestling with pride, no fear. We're breaking boundaries loud and clear. In the ring, love prevails. Every heart, the truth it hails. Man or woman, strength defined. In our blood, no hate to find. Champions of a better way. Under the lights we'll play. It hails. To play. It hails. It hails.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And welcome to the Hour of Pride with
I guess
your
I hope
host,
we can unmute.
Mr. Authentic Ray Ivy, and the interim one fall count Rich Timu Rockwell,
What did you just say?
and yours truly.
The Team John Cena.
That's right, Timu John Cena. You got it.
Welcome,
What's up,
everybody.
How y'all doing?
You know, I'm doing all right. How are you doing tonight, Rich?
Man, I am doing fantastic. And by the way, I just, this is the first time I've had a chance to catch up with you since Saturday, man. Excellent, excellent job with Mike Quackenbush, man. Seriously, round of applause for you, bro.
Thank you.
You deserve everything, man.
My hat's
That
off to
is-
you on that one.
That was like I told you. You seen my post. I told you backstage. I told you before the show started. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. That was an honor. I almost want to say dream come true. Because, like I said, I have followed Mike Quackenbush's career for at least 20 years.
Right.
And, the seminar, I'll say it, the seminar, I took his seminar. And that was one of the most informative seminars. I learned submission holds. I learned, chain wrestling that I didn't know. And it was
Absolutely.
very informative. And then actually to go into the match and trade those chain wrestling holds with him in front of a crowd was a different experience.
Right. And I meant to ask you that. I wondered, how much after the seminars when you guys were discussing, you had talked about, yeah.
Yeah, it was, other than him launching me across the ring with the monkey flip, everything was cool.
Right.
But it was an honor, and again, I thank you. And like I said in my post, everybody that I tagged, the fact that I have a true family that stands by me, and I'm not gonna lie, standing in the middle of the ring across from somebody like Mike Quackenbush, and then to look out into the crowd and see not just family but family and friends sitting, coming out of the locker room to sit,
Right,
and
right.
watch. I was like, wow.
Literally, there is no other way to put it. Watch history be made in Arkansas. And
Yes.
man.
And again,
and as much as you say, thank you to me, man. It really, my co-owner Keith, obviously, you all know him. You've seen him around. Credit to him, man. He was the one that got in touch with Quackenbush and made everything happen. We were just, the beneficiaries that, we all work together. So it's
Right.
equal parts, but he's the one that, made it all contact happen and everything. So, props to him for making that happen. It was an excellent opportunity for, and that's just what I was saying is thank you to him, for making that contact and making those seminars available to, all of our independent talent.
And,
I got to ask, was Quackenbush kind of caught off guard that, you went into this matchup after the seminar and had a whole new arsenal of learned moves to use on him, man,
yes. And, as far as seminar goes, man, we had some guys driving from Louisiana just for the seminar. But, and I'll give a shout out to two other people and I'll say it, that don't get the recognition that they deserve. And that is TNR Championship Wrestling. I'll give it to Robbie and Terry, man. If it wasn't for them, they provided the ring. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have had a, and I'll take Mike's words, a canvas to paint my art,
Absolutely.
So shout out to TNR Championship Wrestling. Thank y'all for everything that y'all do, not just for wrestling with pride, but for Vapors as well. So thank y'all.
Well, and again, also speaking on that note here, and do Rob Fowler, obviously want to give you a chance too. For those that didn't know, we all had the opportunity as companies united, we'll just say, to participate in the making of a music video for the first time.
Yes.
And I don't know of any other companies around Arkansas that have been able to do this, but if you haven't had a chance to see it yet, go to YouTube, search up John Bailey and the Heathen Revival and their song Tattoo. And I think there's a couple of people right above me here that you'll recognize their faces in it, man. That was awesome to see y'all in.
What we can actually do is go ahead and post the link on all of our Facebook pages and just check it out.
I've already shared it on the TNR page.
Absolutely, man. That was a lot of fun, and it turned out real well, man. Y'all look epic in it.
So I want to address something real quick, on a different note. I want you, if you don't mind for me there, Mr. Whoever's got the control, scroll back up in the comments.
Okay.
There's a comment made by, let me find it again.
Well, I think I know what you're talking about.
Erica Black.
That one?
Yes. So what I had, unfortunately, we all know what happened on the last Hour of Pride.
Yes, you got fired.
Yes. So I have had to hire a new co-host. So if you will go ahead and click add and bring that person in.
No, good evening, everyone.
Hey, I like this new co-host, man.
No. Wait a minute.
Wait
a minute.
Welcome back.
Hold on.
Thank you, Rich. It's good to see you.
You too.
You can't be back, Ray.
You.
Mr.
Yes,
99% fired her. She's fired.
He did.
You did
But
fire me,
see,
yes.
I went back and I dug a little deeper, and it is true. Mr. 99% does have control of the locker room and the arena, but he has nothing to do with the Hour of Pride. I actually control the Hour of Pride.
Oh,
what a loophole!
Welcome back, Miss Scarlett.
Thank you, Ray. It
well
was devastated
deserved.
last week. Devastated last week. But so when you contacted me, it was an honor to absolutely say yes.
Amazing what happens when you stick to a plan, huh, Robbie? Don't like it when the loopholes work against you.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at my
Robbie,
contract.
I'm sorry. You just can't get rid of me that easily.
You know, man.
I mean, it's kind of like Robbie. We've tried, but hey, he's here. So we're going to. What is it? This Saturday, May 10th, we have Collision Course.
Yes, we do. Mother's Day
at the Greene County Fairgrounds, 1108 Highway 49B in Paragould, Arkansas. It's the final stop on the road to our marquee event of the year, Pride Bowl 2.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait.
Before we get into some of the matches that's going to happen this Saturday, Pride Bowl 2 is coming up next month.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to think how to word this. I'm just going to say this and then we'll move on because I've had multiple people say it, and I'm not going to get into this little rabbit hole. Why are we having to have Pride Bowl 2? Well, for one, it's wrestling with pride. And two, we promote love, acceptance, of equality of anybody and everybody. We have pride. And we will continue, love you too, baby girl. And we will continue to have pride and Pride Bowl 2, Pride Bowl 3, Pride, and so forth, until we no longer have to fight for equal rights for everybody.
Agreed.
100%.
Absolutely agree.
But as long as I promise you with every ounce of my being, with every ounce of breath I have,
Can I go over to Mr. John's, Dad?
You will see me fight for pride and you will see me fight for rights until we all have the same rights.
Amen.
And that is human rights.
Absolutely. Beautifully said, Ray.
Now,
With that being said, can I go over to Mr. John's, Rich? I mean, is it okay if I go to Mr. John's there, buddy?
Man, that's great.
I need a hoodie.
Poor feller. He can't help
He
it.
needs a hoodie.
We gotta have some laugh at something now. Come on.
We
Yeah.
do,
So we're going to bring up the first match this Saturday. The QWO will be defending the tag team titles against the Toxic Twins.
Man, oh man.
Now, before I give my thoughts, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Rob Father himself, and I want his opinion.
My opinion? You want? Well, I'm going to tell you what my opinion is. It don't matter.
I know it, but go ahead.
I'm going to tell you, but it ain't going to matter what I tell you anyway because you ain't going to like it. So, my opinion is that, as you all know, you took them tag team titles off of me and Big Hoss.
Mm-hmm. Fair and square.
And okay, you can say that if you want to say that.
Agreed.
Say that. Whatever. Say what you want to say, but it wasn't fair and square. Okay? I'm just going to say it wasn't fair and square. But anyway, that's beside the point. It's another deal. So everybody knows the reason why them titles have not left your grasp yet is because my tag team partner is down and out. He is very ill. He's very sick. He is fixing to have surgery on his gallbladder. So my best wishes is to my tag team partner, Big Hoss. And with that being said, you better be lucky he's not there. Because if he was there, I believe we might just would have to, invoke our rematch clause. And then it could have been a triple threat match. But you know what? Then we would have took the titles. But since it's the Toxic Twins versus y'all, I'm just going to
say, are you going to get to the point, sir?
Yeah, hey, just let me talk. You talk as long as you want to talk. So it's time for you to shut up and let Robbie have the mic. Okay? So with that being said, with it being the Toxic Twins, knowing I've got issues with monoxide, I hope you beat him senseless to where he can't even make it to May 17th. So there you go. That's all I got to say.
Oh. Highlight that newest comment.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Let's see what that is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hear you.
Go ahead, Miss Scarlett. I want your opinion.
You know, Toxic Twins are definitely a team to watch. And I know you won't underestimate either one of them because they have some epic skills. They work incredibly well together, but so do you with Triple J.
Me and my boo.
I got to say, I really think that you're going to retain this time. I really do. They want it. They'll fight for it. But I think that you and Triple J have that special connection that's going to allow you to work together and keep it.
You know.
Oh my God. Whatever.
You know, you're right. You're right on the fact that the Toxic Twins are somebody to a tag team to watch out for. They're on the climb up. They're working their rear ends off to prove that they are a legit tag team to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
You know, they gel so well together like brothers, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know, then you got me and Triple J on the other side. You know, just the fact of, you know, we won these tag team titles. See, this is May. I mean, we won them in March.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. 99%. He's got away with words. Of course, Miss Scarlett would pick the QWO. If they ever come up missing, we'll be able to get some DNA off her nose.
You're right, Mr. 99%. You're exactly right.
He's entitled to. He's entitled to his opinion. Don't make him true.
Say he's got away with words. I'll say that. I'll get to him here in just a second.
I do agree with Mikey G, though, right below. Toxic Twins are unhinged. QWO going to have their hands full.
You're 100%. 100%. And that's actually what I was going to say is that's one thing that is dangerous about the Toxic Twins is they are so unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest.
It's almost like they read each other's minds.
Let's be honest. Cody Hayes has seen recent success. New social media champion. He's hungry, man. He's got a taste of gold. He wants more.
He absolutely does.
You know, but at the same time, I have nothing but respect for the Toxic Twins. And, you know, Danny, you're 100% right. I do see gold in the Toxic Twins' future. But I just don't see it this week.
Expense.
Not at my expense. Because I have a goal in mind. And that is to prove exactly what I've said and exactly what the QWO has said time and time again. And that's every time we step in the ring, we have one goal, and that is to prove that we are the absolute tops in the tag team division in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, and then I'm going to move on because I don't want to sound egotistical. I'm riding off of a high. I'm riding off of a high from this past Saturday night. And by God, Toxic Twins, I hope you're ready for a fight. That's all I'm going to say.
Some whole new holes are coming their way.
See, even Mr. Keith Daniels going to come and see. And I have to say, I honestly think this match Saturday has potential to be contender for match of the year.
I can absolutely see that.
I say you already entered that contention on Saturday, personally, but man, there's absolutely time for more moments.
I don't know. I think my tag team match runs a close race for match of the year.
All right. Anyways, next match.
You don't ever want to listen to me. I'm talking about when me and Jackson Palace went after the tag team titles.
I will give that to you.
I'll say this.
That was a really good match. It was an amazing match.
You have improved so much since you started. I'll give you that.
Absolutely.
There's only one way to go up. One way to go, or two ways to go, and that's forward and upward. And if you continue on the path that you're on, you'll continue that. I'm not dogging the ability that you have in the ring.
I won't take anything away from you. You are very talented in the ring.
Absolutely.
Yes, Rob Father. I actually said something nice about you.
Dang, I'm glad we got this on recording.
However, talent or not, I've said this once, I'll say it again, and I'll say it a million more times. The way you go about and the way you conduct yourself, I don't agree with. Doesn't mean you're not talented. I just think there's a more professional way of getting your way to the top versus the way that you choose to do it.
And I agree with that. You still can't hang with Terry, but it's okay.
You know,
We'll
one
see
man
about
once
that.
said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Hey, Boo Boo, how you doing?
And quite frankly, Robbie, you truly are a smart man with
I wouldn't go
amazing
that
talent
far.
and great potential. It's not using your power responsibly and using it for your own selfish good that becomes the issue.
We will soon see.
It's just
Stay tuned to the untouchable era. That's all I got to say.
Mikey G
All
says,
right.
good luck chain wrestling with
Yes.
monoxide. That dude doesn't wrestle. He fights like a crazy psycho.
it's a whole
No.
new idea of chain wrestling. We'll take it. I've seen that man wrestle with dog collars and dog chains. So
Right?
Don't worry, tag team partner. I'm not listening to a word none of them says.
We never said you wasn't good, but anyways, collision course. Next match: Daddy Shane versus Big Al.
That's my boo right there.
Daddy Shane?
No,
Y'all
heck
couple.
no.
No.
Heck no. Big Al's my baby. Big Al's my big man. He's my,
Is he
he's
your
my
boo
go-to
thing?
guy. He's my boo thing.
did you really call him your boo?
He
Yeah.
really
Boo
did.
thing?
Hey, what do you get when you put Big Al and the Rob Father together?
Brooks and
Big
Dumbass.
you.
Brooks and
There you go. My
Right.
God.
You know, at
And by
least
God,
you
you're
know,
leading with the dumbass.
You damn right I am. And
you
I'm
know-
proud of it.
and they say the first step to recovery is acknowledging you have a problem. So by admitting he's dumbass, he has nowhere to go but up. So I'm very, very proud of you for owning that title.
You know, that's going to be an interesting match with them.
That is.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie,
What?
I'll give you first go on that one too. Other than, okay,
No.
let's try. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Y'all are
Hold
setting
on.
me up for something.
No, we're not. I'm actually going to, without favoritism. How would you see this match going?
Okay, so you're asking me without favoritism. Are you going to ask the other two down there at the bottom the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
And I'm
what
gonna
their
give mine,
answers
too.
is. Well, I'm going to hear their answers first, and then I'll give you mine.
Okay, let me give you mine first, okay?
There we go. Let's listen to it.
You have the high-flying, the death-defying, insane, he used to be Insane Shane, but now Daddy Shane.
He's
You
still
have the
insane
powerhouse.
in the best way.
He's still insane. And then you have the powerhouse of Big Al.
Right.
If Shane can stay out of the grips of Big Al, he has a chance. But I hate to say it. If Big Al gets his hands on Shane and grounds him, Big Al has a major chance of winning.
Absolutely.
I absolutely agree with
this
that.
point, I could be cliche and say it could go either way. But, of course, we know I'm pulling for Shane. But Shane has to be on his P's and Q's. Because if he does not, if he's not on his P's and Q's and if he's not paying attention and if he flips for one split second, it's over.
Yep.
Got to remember that wingspan of Big Al. I mean, he
that
may fly.
Unbiased
but
enough
he's got
for
a-
you, Robbie.
Mhm.
I kind of liked your answer.
Very similar to what I was going to say.
What's up, Serena?
You know,
How you doing?
if he gets close enough to Big Al for Big Al to clip his wings,
I mean,
Shane's in trouble.
You absolutely
Over.
took the words right out of my mouth. Going into this, Shane has to fight two battles, and really his only way through that I see right now, and again, not taking anything away from him, but his only way through this right now is to chop down the tree that he's about to face in Big Al, and he's going to have to chop it not only from the bottom but from the top, and on top of that, he's going to have to choose precisely which way he chops it. Because while Shane loves to get to the top and fly around for those high impact moves, those are very high risk moves. And all it takes is Big Al to play possum for a little bit, and he'll swat Shane out of the sky like a fly.
Exactly, like a
and
fly.
It's done.
Yep.
Done.
You know, it's
So Shane
like
is going to
that.
have to be cautious and thinking on two sides of this.
If Shane,
He has to be very
is-
psychological.
no, you can't, Lance. Shut up. If Shane is able to hit that shooting star leg drop, it'll be
Right.
over.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if Al is able to hit the discus clothesline, it's done.
Yep.
He's going to have to wear Big Al down. He's going to
Yeah.
have to exhaust him for being able to get him in a position for that shooting star pro leg press. You know, we know that Shane has a lot of, he got very high metabolism and stamina, but can he outlast
Yes.
Big Al? That's a lot to ask for out of him. I believe in him, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
But
100%.
being realistic, it
But
could very well.
I'm kind of, and I'm not really going to say I'm torn between the two. Shane, one of my best friends in the world.
Mhm.
I trained Al.
Well,
I really love the fact, and I love watching Al succeed as long as he does it the right way.
Mhm.
But I also want the QWO.
look,
Mhm.
Ooh,
Your heart
I do
says
want to pause
Shane,
here
your
for
brain
just a
has
minute because we all of us are forgetting one important aspect of this matchup, especially with Shane.
somebody outside. Oh,
Mhm.
The MMA background.
Mhm.
yes.
Let's not forget that Shane did have a career in MMA. Very
Mhm.
easily,
I mean,
while
he's
he
got
does
that-
rely.
He's
While
got
he
that
does
secret
rely on the
weapon of
flying.
MMA.
Yep.
Mhm.
Big Al has a secret weapon. And he's sitting right there.
Yeah.
There's always that possibility. I hate to see Al go there because he could do this without any help from anybody.
Right.
Who says
I would
I'm
love
going to
to
help
be able
him?
to look at Big Al and say, "You earned that fair and square."
Who says I'm going to help him?
The video that's seen you climb the pole and grab the chain last show.
Yeah.
He's scared of heights.
Robbie, past behavior is your
He's
best
scared of
indicator
heights.
of future behavior.
He's
And
scared
so
of heights.
the past says you often help Big Al. So you are a piece of this puzzle. We do have to factor that in that you could help him win. Those are facts. That's not being rude or mean. That's just facts. You called him your boo. You're going to step out and help him if need be. If you think he's in trouble, yeah, you're going to come out and help him.
I seen you finally wanted a sip there, Rich.
I realize you sat at aside.
It's Coca-Cola, trust me. Yeah, exactly.
But that'll be an interesting match because it's a clash of two styles.
It's two styles that you don't see clash together very much at all.
Right.
Because you do got Shane and his high flying, his MMA background.
Ooh.
You know, you do got that. You got Big Al and his. I mean, he's big. You know, lariat clothesline, distance clothesline, take you out of your shoes. I mean,
It's going to
Calm
be a
me down
beautiful
before.
match.
yes. I mean, I have seen him almost take Ray's head off with it. You know, seem to almost take other guys' heads off. But I'm kind of on the fence that if my partner makes a mistake, if my untouchable makes a mistake, Shane's going to get him. And the same on the other hand, if Shane makes a mistake, you know, Big Al's got to capitalize on that. You know, that's the thing. Which one of these guys are going to capitalize on the first person that makes a mistake?
Right.
Because you all know this. It's 115% guaranteed that somebody's going to make a mistake.
Yep. It always happens.
Somebody's not going to follow the plan.
Somebody's not. I mean, is it going to be you, Rich? I mean, is it going to be
Rich
Scarlett?
always
I
follows
don't
the
know.
plan.
Right.
I mean, look how he introduced me Saturday. You know, 5'7.5" because a little extra never hurts.
Well, that's only because you told him to.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason. See, Big Hoss says it ain't going to happen.
I think comment highlighter needs to go back up. We missed an important one there by Michael Glover.
No, we didn't. I ain't
Yeah,
highlighting that.
yeah, I
No.
completely agree with it.
Talking about that one?
Yes, absolutely.
I have no
that one.
say-so,
No, pull that back up. I didn't
No.
quite finish reading it.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Once you ask Mr. 99% if I'm going to be banned from the ringside or not. How about
All
that?
right, next match.
So we go to the next match.
Because we know that answer. We already talked about that one.
A great match it's going to be either way. Good luck. Good
Yeah,
luck
right.
to you both, man. Seriously.
The mouse was on the wrong button. Sorry.
This one right here.
Ooh, double cross versus True
Yes,
Havoc.
sir.
I'll let Rob Fowler go first.
Man, you always put me in a spot.
But then, Robbie, he's being considerate to you because last month and the month before, now he disappeared, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Ray, I commend you for trying to give him a chance to use his voice so that he complains the other way. So there's no winning with him, unfortunately.
I've been saying it for a while now. I've been liking True Havoc. I've been liking where they've been clawing and scratching their way through. Unfortunately, as you're climbing that mountain, sometimes you hit a boulder and you're kind of, you wish you didn't. You wish you didn't, and you got to fall back down that mountain a little bit and kind of climb back up and remember where your spot was.
It's that whole, what is it, that old school saying, one step forward, two steps back.
2 steps back.
Yeah.
Say double cross is more like the Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to scale that to get.
I was literally looking when I was told what matches Mr. 99% had made.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And well, him and Brad, because 50-50 commissioner.
Right.
When it comes to this match, I 100% agree with what you just said. But at the same time, to add to that, I think this is a match that needed to happen.
Yeah.
The reason for being is it's going to put True Havoc in there with some true vets.
Mm-hmm.
1 second.
Oh goodness. Okay.
It's night of the invasions.
Right.
I had it. No, he had it. Welcome back.
There he's back.
There you go.
Ginger ale.
Good job.
And I think it's water. Gotta love kids. But what's up, Joseph? But the whole part is it gives True Havoc that test.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Because I'll say it. A couple weeks ago, Leachville, Arkansas, me and Triple J defended the TNR Tag Team Championships against True Havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And they played one thing smart. They took advantage of the concussion I had.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and I'm not saying nothing bad about them because a lot of new guys don't pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got overzealous, missed a splash in the corner. They took advantage. Kudos. But me and my boo, we came out on top with this, retaining the tag team titles. But the whole part of it is, it goes back to that, the vet paying attention. And if True Havoc makes one mistake, it's over.
Yeah, they'll eat him for lunch.
Oh
Yeah. And it's
I mean,
nothing
not even a
against
full
True
meal,
Havoc.
maybe a
It's just
sneak. No.
Double Cross is that smart.
Mm-hmm. They're like the great white sharks, circling their
Circling that
prey.
blood, baby.
Yeah.
True Havoc's like the seals. Okay.
And like I
I will
said,
say one thing: seals are
You're on
wily.
mute, Robbie.
They can dodge the mouth of that great white shark, and that's what True Havoc's going to do. And I've seen
Yes.
seals get away from great
Love
white
computers.
sharks.
I thought maybe this was
We
just
can
the
hear you
way
now,
that we were
Robbie.
having them on.
I just love computers. I don't know what's going on with my darn computer.
Um,
Anyway, I hear y'all talking about the match of Double Cross and True Havoc. Well, what about this? Are you sure Double J's with Double Cross?
that is
Because-
a very valid question.
Because
I
I'm going
almost
to ask
asked
you.
that.
I'm gonna ask this. This is the reason why I'm asking that. Because when I booked Christian Cross last show at TNR, he did not walk out with Christian Cross.
You're right.
So
Where was he though?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Have anybody talked to Double J?
There is a picture circulating somewhere on the internet of him sitting in the bleachers
Mhm.
at
Well,
TNR.
if he was in the bleachers, he did not report to me that he was there at the show that night.
Maybe that's because he doesn't like you, Robbie.
I mean,
well,
and
I
this
mean,
is
you
not
could
meant.
be
This is not
true.
meant any, no side eye or anything at Double J, but he's kind of a hard person to miss.
It's true.
So
The
I mean,
fact
I
is,
wasn't there. I wasn't able to be at that show, so I don't know for sure if he was there or not.
the fact is, how do I say this? Pardon my French, and I know we try to keep it PG around here, but for lack of better words, maybe he's tired of Mr. 99% and Robbie's and Christian and all. Maybe he's tired of their shit.
I mean, he could be.
You did it, Ray Ivy. You survived. Not only did you survive, you thrived. You and Mike Quackenbush put on a match that lit the indie world on fire. For 20 minutes, you weren't just a wrestler. You were a warrior. A man who finally looked in the mirror and believed in what he saw. But now comes the part where that mirror shatters. Because I let you have that moment, Ray. I wanted you to feel it. I wanted you to stand tall in Benton. Because I'm going to take everything from you in Paragould. Collision course, this Saturday. Your world begins to crack. The foundation you've built on 20 years of scraped knees and broken dreams, I'm going to turn it to dust. But I'm not done with you there, Ray. Oh no. Maybe the final nail in your coffin comes at Pride Bowl 2, in front of everyone who ever cared about you. That's where your truth dies, where your legacy burns. As for Double J, I see the doubt in his eyes. I see the conflict, and I don't blame him. I commend him. He's torn between doing what's right and standing beside the man who opened his eyes. And believe me when I tell you this, that man, me, has never lied to him. So fans, before you turn him into your little redemption story, just know he's still here, and he's still holding the bag I gave him. Inside this bag is his truth, a truth made of broken glass. He won't know when to use it, but when the time is right, he will. And on that night, we'll all learn something about Double J, about Ray Ivy, about pain, regret, and what happens when you stare too long into the soul of a man like me. See you Saturday, Ray. And then, at Pride Bowl, I bury what's left.
Whew.
That was dark.
All I'm saying,
A little over dramatic, but we'll let him
I'm
have
gonna
that.
say this, and then I'm done for the night. I want to speak to the rest of the QWO. I apologize that I have dragged y'all into my personal issues. You know, my best friend, Shane. Oh, don't worry, Christian. I'm not going to cry. All I'm saying is I want to apologize to Shane, my best friend, for dragging him into my personal issues. I want to apologize to my niece, Abby Grace. The honorary member, TJ Murphy, I want to apologize to you. But most importantly, I want to apologize to my boo. Triple. This is something that I never thought you'd have to see. But all I'm asking is this Saturday. Please don't get in my way. Please do not try to stop me. Because when I see Mr. 99% face to face, when I see him in my sight, I'm not responsible for what happens. And I'm not going to write a Lifetime movie, Christian. I'm going to write a brand new version of Final Destination for your ass. Because this isn't the emotional Ray that you've seen. What you see before you right now is a man that's going to stand his grounds. What you see before you now is somebody that no longer gives a shit what I have to put my body through. No matter what I have to put my life through, I will end Mr. 99%. I will see y'all Saturday.
Good luck, Ray.
We love you, Ray.
And the main event of the evening will be none other than the Outsider versus Silverback. So your thoughts on that match, Rich?
Man, we've seen the Silverback, and I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, just really making his debut on the TNR and Wrestling with Pride scene recently over the last few weeks. Now already in a championship match against the Outsider, and we've all seen that. That's what I was getting at. We've all seen the size of Joe Helms, of the Silverback, man. That's definitely a big challenge for the Outsider to face.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that it can't be done, but yeah, it's going to be
Yep.
yeah.
You see it right there,
certainly
Outsider.
does.
You're darn right. You got your work cut out for you. Let me tell you something.
He does because you got. He's
I'm
wrong.
gonna
He
go
can
out
be
and say
defeated, but it
this.
takes a lot.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
say
Robbie.
this.
I'm sorry.
I seen Silverback up front and personal.
Mm-hmm.
I took a steel chair and hit the man over the back, and he turned around and looked at me with some eyes that I have never seen in my whole entire wrestling career. I was scared to death. So, Outsider, all I got to say is, I hope he kicks your butt from one end of the building to the other. Because I'm going to smile like a big bird's supposed to smile.
You might smile, man, but remember, if he claims it, then there's a whole new mountain for you to have to fight in order to claim it back.
That's okay. I'm ready to take that mountain down step by
Me tell you, it's a mountain of a man. You're right.
That's right. So
You look at him, and you look at the Outsider, in a lot of ways they're well matched. It's gonna be a hard one for Outsider because you don't fight a gorilla the same way you fight a normal wrestler.
and you don't fight a silverback gorilla the same way
Well,
you
that's
fight
what I was
a
going to
gorilla.
say. Then you've got the Silverback. He's earned that name. But I mean, in any way that you can look at it, he's earned the right to call himself a Silverback gorilla. He fights. It's very primal. And that's gonna be a lot for the Outsider to overcome. But I believe he can do it. We just have to see if he's on his A game on Saturday.
And of course, we're talking about Collision Course coming up this Saturday for WWP. Paragould, Arkansas at the fairgrounds. Doors will open at 6. Bell time will be about 7 p.m. Front row seats are $15. General admission is $10. Come on out to Paragould this Saturday night and enjoy the show and see some great live action. We showed you the card. Coming up the following weekend after that will be TNR's Bunkhouse Brawl.
Bunkhouse Brawl.
We'll be at Leachville at 211th Street in Leachville, Arkansas. I'm
excited to be back home. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not excited to have you. I'm sorry.
I know you're not.
I'm just not excited.
That's okay. That's okay. I don't live for your approval, so that's all right. But I'm excited to be there.
But anyway, come out to Leachville the following weekend. We'll have Inside TNR next Tuesday night.
Yes, sir.
In next Tuesday night. Then also you have WWP and TNR presenting Blazing and Hazing 2, May 31st. There in Hazen.
Oh, and Hazen sure loves wrestling, and they love them some Cody Hayes.
And you darn right. So, come on out to Hazen, support us, and come see a great show. And then we also are going to talk about this. The OVW Superstars, TNR and WWE presents June 21st. This is a big thing, guys. We're going to have a seminar with Cash Flow. Cash Flow seminar. It all takes place there at the BC Lloyd Building, June 21st.
Absolutely.
Meet and greets 5:30. So, looking forward to it. But from here, from us, from our pride tonight, from the Rob Father, peace out.
I'm Miss Scarlett.
Y'all take care. We'll catch you later.
Great night, everybody.